Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, live sports radios were distributed as you entered today. Select the channel as shown on the video board to tune in and listen to your favorite coach or student athlete. And stay connected and participate in the conversation using the hashtag CFBPlayoff.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Stetson, you were pretty outward about how you played last week. Kirby and everybody else was too. I mean, just from watching that film and just having a week to digest it, what did you take from it? We love you, Stetson!
There was, I think I started off the game pretty well, finished it pretty well. There's a little period in the middle. Like to have some things back, but that's football, and they're a really good team. They're going to cause you to make mistakes sometimes, and so just work to fix that.
Hey, Stetson, congrats, man.
Thanks, man.
What's the difference in preparation, feeling in your stomach this time around in this national championship game?
I think the preparation's the same thing. Just day by day, watch film, keep practicing, respect who TCU is, and just get ready for it.
Stetson, we're going to go right now.
Okay.
Stetson, we are just going outside of the building. Maybe was about
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. We'll think about that a little bit later, I think.
Okay, we're going to go across the way here.
Stetson, obviously you grew up a Georgia fan, and from an outside perspective, it seemed like it was a fan base that felt like it was getting so close so many times you just couldn't get over the hump. What has it meant to you to help get the program to this run and this stage that it is, and share it with all those fans that you grew up
Yeah.
basically being with?
Yeah, it's funny. It's hard to be a fan while you're in it. I remember when I went to JUCO in 2018, I was so much more, I don't know, like fan. It hurt whenever they lost to LSU, and like it did when I was a kid again. While I'm here, it's hard, but I do have just an immense amount of respect for Coach Smart, all the guys who on this team go to work every single day. You sweat together, you bleed together, and it's to create a program that's like this, and extremely proud of that, and proud to be a part of it.
Stetson, the fact that this is going to be your final college game, I mean, I know you talked about before you don't think about the end, all that kind of stuff, but does it make it a little bit easier to really extra in on this one and leave no stone unturned kind of deal?
I mean, I think it's the national championship. Regardless if I was, had years left or, I don't, but it's national championship. It's the last one of the year. It's the big one. It's why we were doing those winter workouts so hard. It's what we dream about when we're kids. So I don't think really me leaving has anything to do with how hard I'm preparing.
We're going to go across the way right here.
Stetson, we've had so many fun stories with you over the last 2 years. Two I want to ask you about. One, I heard once that you were quarantined on a cruise ship. Two, the milkman. And I wanted to ask you about when you did that and how much fun that was for you. Playoff for the man.
Yeah. No, I wasn't on a cruise ship. We did have some guys who were. Mr. Ron was freaking out before we left because it was about to hit. We didn't know how hard it was going to hit, but when we were going on spring break, he was saying, be smart, maybe not a cruise. I didn't go on a cruise, but and then, the milkman thing was fun. That was, there's a whole production crew. The director was awesome. All the people on set were awesome. That was really one of the most fun NIL things I've done.
Let me do the hypothetical.
Okay.
If 2021 doesn't happen, or even
Oh, if I was, I'd probably be a little sad. But no, probably not. I probably would have left and went somewhere else. Or who's to say what would happen? But no, I probably wouldn't be law student yet. Might be on the way though. It might be, might be getting there. Yeah.
They talk about so much parity in college football, but you look at year after year, you're in the hunt and you are back-to-back championships. So what does that speak about?
I think it speaks to our culture, more than anything, because that's what builds lasting things. It's the culture and the work that we put in on a daily basis. 365 days a year. It's hard, and it's harder to build a program that can last than to build one for a year. And so it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of sacrifice, which I think this team has done a really great job of doing.
And you say it's been many years, 10 or 20 since we've had a repeat champion. Your explanation why it's so difficult and how, the challenge of doing that.
Yeah, I think it's hard for people to go back and do what got them there. And that's why it takes great leadership like Coach Smart and the coaching staff to, because we're all college kids, and it's easy for us to lose sight of what's important, or what we're trying to go do, and it's hard for a lot of people to see that and then work, And you got good teams every year, man. Like it's not really up to you always. There's going to be special teams.
Are you surprised, not surprised, are you, that your opponent in the title game is TCU, which came really off the radar, 5-7 last year, and here they are. Does that surprise you that they're here?
No, I really, we were all worried about what we were going to do at the beginning of the year. I really didn't know how good any team in the country was going to be until we played them that week, really. Because we're focused on who we are as a team, focused on us getting better, and then whoever we were playing that week, then we'd move on to them. But in our building, it's always been, it's about us. We prepare, and then we go. We play the opponent that week. It's been a little surreal. It's I don't know. It's hard to look at it in its whole entirety. It's a lot easier to break off bite-sized, chunks, and that's how it all happened, just day by day. None of it was. It was planned, but not really. Just do the best that you can each day, and then hopefully that puts you in a position to be somewhere cool one day. Yeah. I think, the first thing that jumps out is how passionately they play and the team speed. They're really fast, and they're physical. They've got a lot of pride. Michigan was talking crap, and they came out and had a bone to pick with the run. And, they're a really physical team, really fast. And then Max is the heart and soul of that whole team. He's met him up in New York. He's a great dude, and he's a great football player. He runs when he wants to, when he needs to run, but he can throw it. He can throw it all over the board, and he's got a great receiver too. So it's gonna be a good game. What's up?
So, as someone who went to a Division III school for undergrad, someone who has covered Division III sports for a long time as well, what did you learn about, just going to piggyback off that last question, what did you learn about yourself and you as a player with being away from the Division I game and then coming back and having this level of success?
Well, I think it was really important for me to go be the guy somewhere again. Playing football is pretty much the only way you can get better at playing football, right? And so to go be in that position where you are the starter, you know, it comes down to you in certain situations. You know, that taught me a lot, and fighting for a championship over there. You know, we didn't end up winning it, but you know, that it always teaches you something. And sorry, I can't remember the last part.
No, and just I guess what did you just kind of talk about the player side of things, but what did you learn about? I guess just kind of piggyback off again. What did you learn about yourself during that process, knowing that your opportunity to come back here wasn't guaranteed, and that you had to fight for every inch just to even get to this point?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I left, I thought it was, you know, deuces out forever from UGA. I didn't think I was coming back. And what I learned about I don't know if I learned anything about myself. I kind of knew when I pulled the trigger that, like, hey, I'm not here at Georgia just to, you know, hang out and be on the team and, you know, have some footballs in 30 years. You know, I want to play ball. I want to do what I think I can do. And so went over there and figured out that, you know, hey, I think I'm right. And then they came back and went and attacked it again. But learning stuff, I don't know. I think I've always had a pretty good idea of who I am and, you know, I guess kind of what I want to achieve, what I want to go for. So. I can't hear you, but. I mean, I wouldn't say, you know, close. I'd say we're boys. You know, I respect him as a player. We had some, you know, really cool moments up there, just hanging out, chatting. I saw him one night. He was going to see the Christmas tree, and but you know, he's a dude. CJ's a dude. Caleb's a dude. Just a, you know, everybody gets so caught up in all these cameras, and you know, we grew up, we went to high school, and just we're trying to figure it out just like the rest of everybody, you know. And so I think it's cool whenever all of us could get together and just kind of realize that about each other. Just normal dudes who can, you know, throw a football. Yeah, did he say where we were different? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's a lot of guys who learned from a lot of guys from last year's team. You know, there are some, you know, me, Chris, and, you know, Nolan and others who were an integral part of last year's team. But there's a lot of dudes who were not a part of it. Like, they were a part of it, but didn't contribute on the field to it. And, you know, I think they've done an outstanding job of learning from those guys, learning from the guys who have played. And I think the leadership on this team is, you know, outstanding. Not saying that that's different from last year, because it was. But, yeah, I mean, we've got a bunch of different personalities, a bunch of different ways to, you know, play football. You know, as far as exacts, I don't really know, but I would say it's the personality of this team is a lot different. Yeah, I wouldn't say we've had that many ups and downs. I'd say we probably had more downs last year because we lost to Alabama in the SEC. You know, we've had some places and some games where we've had to dig ourselves out, you know, more so than last year, but we have dug ourselves out. So, you know, I don't know. It's been a fun season. It's probably been a little bit more interesting season than last year until the end, but it's been a blast. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of dudes. I think about our linebacker situation where we lost, what was it, 3 dudes to the draft in the one position, and you know, they've all stepped up. You could see it in winter workouts when they're trying to push through and get to the shape where it needs to be. And then, a lot of our DBs not really stepped up because they've played, but they were probably the most the position group that stayed the most similar to last year as far as defense-wise. And so they've really stepped up, I think so. And, we've got Malachi and y'all didn't ask me those questions. But just a lot of dudes stepping up. And then, on offense, when people go down, people step up. That's the way it goes. Yeah, I think probably in the offseason just thinking about the game, working hard, training. Third year in the system, know it pretty well. But not just the system, starting to understand football more. And then footwork was probably my main concern in the offseason. So it probably stayed a little bit better there.
What are you thinking of what was said before he took the timeout to make a big run with Ohio State? It seemed like he came out, got the ball, flipped on the back. Was there anything you said?
I said, thank God. It was a big timeout. But then, it seemed as if, for me, the first half and the second half were almost identical, except for we didn't start hot in the second half. But, we came back from 14 points in the first half, and so we were looking at each other, and we're like, okay, we score, they stop, we score, right? And that's it. And so we were determined to go out there, and Arian, ran a great route, stepped on the dude's toes, and then, defense went out there, held them to a field goal, and then we went down and took care of business again.
Stetson, you've been in this game a long time, but Monday night you'll get to do something you haven't done before, play in a stadium every minute. What is that like, and how difficult is it to adjust to a place that you or your team has never played in?
I think we'll go practice there today, so that'll probably, get all that stuff out of the way. But I think it's the old Hoosiers thing, man. Like it's 10 feet goal, right? 15 feet to the free throw line. I don't know. I didn't play much basketball, but like that, it's 100 yards, 53 and a third or something like that. 10-yard end zones, like that. That's how it works. And we've played a lot of football together, and so and we've been in this moment. So hopefully we can keep our wits about us and just let it be football, because that's what it is. Right. Yeah, I think just consistency in my play, consistency in the message. Good or bad, it's never over. And we just got to do what we do. Good, bro. Yeah, I think I think their corners are really good. I think that allows them to play, that frees up everybody else because they trust them out there on an island, and just their overall team speed. They're real fast. They train it a lot. But then they're also really physical, and it's when you've got both, that's a dangerous combination. So it's going to be a fun game.
Going back to what was going through your mind, and
Next play, got to do my job, give the good balls to the good players, and then just play football. It's not going to happen now. We can't hit a 15-point play. Just got to keep going, keep working, and yeah. Well, we just got here yesterday, but yeah, I mean, I say so. It's yeah. I mean, coming out of California is cool as hell. Being here with the teammates, my family's out here, but this is a business trip. We got to play a football game, and but I think it has been cool for everybody to get out here. And we were on an airplane. I had one of those cool little lay down seats, like a full bed, and so I like that. That was a big perk. Hey. Yeah, there's a few teams that run, I guess, if not that structure, something similar to it. But this team is, in the national championship, they do things their own way, and they've got intricacies that I'm just kind of talking on my butt right now, but they're a really good team. So. Oh, no, I don't think so. No, I haven't thought about it.
I have fun. I asked your teammates if your entire team was casted in a movie here in Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
Who do you think would play the hero and who would play the villain?
On our team? Oh. I don't know. What's the storyline? But as the villain, I don't know. Who would play a good villain? I think Chris would play a good villain. Chris, if we had a movie, could you play a villain? Yeah, he could play a villain. Yeah. And then Sed's the good guy. Sed's good to the core. Yeah.
Hey, Stetson, I know how much the state of Georgia and this program means to you. Just the chance to win back-to-back titles, from where you started to now. I'm sure you've been thinking about it. How has that sunk in, and what would that mean for you?
We're trying not to make this game bigger than it is because, it'd be hard to handle then. But, it'd be special. It'd be an honor. It'd be, all those things. But we got to win this game. So I'm not really thinking about storylines or, I'm trying to avoid all that. I hate to be a buzzkill with quotes, but TCU's really, really good, and kind of got to divert all our attention to that and not really thinking about, the other stuff.
Hey, Stetson, the entire football community being affected by the DeMar Hamlin injury, what were your initial thoughts when you saw that?
Yeah, it was scary. I didn't know what to think. Just waiting for more information. I think he's doing better now, which is really good. But yeah, it was a freak accident. I still don't know exactly what happened, but super scary. You could see how shaken up all the players were, and so you knew something was different than when you've seen players on the field in the past. It looked a little bit more serious, and they called the game. So it was scary. Football is a really dangerous and violent sport, and I'm glad he's doing better.
And when you see when he came to, his first words were, "Did we win?"
Yeah, right.
And you see that type of mentality
Yeah.
and team first. What goes through your mind when you
Yeah, it's team first, and it's just competitor to the core. Yeah, it's a special dude, and there's a lot of special dudes in football. I think football, it brings out the best in you, especially, the further down the road you get, the better you start to see, how the game's supposed to be played, especially on the good teams. What it takes to win, and the sacrifice and commitment that it takes, and that just shows me. Hey, what was he? He was like a 6th-round pick or something. He played like the most snaps on defense this whole year.
And he started after week 3.
Yeah.
Micah Hyde.
Yeah, so he loves football, right? And so I hope he recovers well. But yeah, that was cool.
Good luck.
Thank you, man. Yeah, just their defense, the structure's a little bit, different than usual. Again, they're really fast. They've got really good corners. They're physical. They're really, really well coached, and they do their jobs. So those teams are always dangerous. And this team especially because, like I said, they've got Max as their leader, and that dude is true to the core and really good football player. Well, maybe once I leave, But yeah, I mean, we've got good football players, and Coach Monk's a damn good play caller. Maybe, it's kind of, I think Coach Smart's done a good job of seeing, the trend of, where college football is going, what needs to happen if, we're going to continue to stay relevant and compete for championships. And so I think, we came into this year thinking that we could be really good on offense, but not knowing. And so, kind of thought that we had to go prove ourselves a little bit.
After last season, how much did you consider not coming back, and how hard did the USFL?
I mean, it really wasn't. I really didn't think about not coming back. I told people I did, but in my head, I always knew. I was like, how dumb could I be to leave this opportunity that I've got here? I'm starting quarterback at Georgia. I trust in Coach Smart, trust in our players. We got a lot of guys back coming back on offense, and I'm going to get better. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about that long. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell people for a little bit, but I had made up my mind.
Did you try to make it worth your while? Did they throw money at it?
I mean, I can't remember that. Yeah. I think it's extremely important, especially to have a dude as smart as Seth is, because he understands what we're trying to do, and he's curious. He tries to learn more. All right, if we do this here, why are we doing this here? So he can anticipate what that play might go to, right? And that's special. He's the leader of the offensive line. He's the leader of this team, and it's with all those guys up front, you just feel safe, because they love you and you love them, and they're a lot bigger than me, so they take all the hits.
I want to know everything about you being the older. Were you asked to be the older? Did you volunteer? Did the special teams guys accept you as one of them?
Yeah, I mean, I always told him I could do it. I was like, dude, I can catch that ball. That's all you do. And I held in college. I held in high school, and I think I held in JUCO. But yeah, I was like, dude, who else, if I can catch it and put it down, well, if there's a bad snap, who else would you want to have the ball, right? And so I've always thought that way. But no, Pod didn't want me there for a little bit. I had to do infinity reps just on the sideline after practice, catching balls from our snapper Payne and Moat, and just putting them down so he could just see me and see it and trust and learn to trust that the ball is going to be there. And so I figured out how mental kickers are, but it's worked out so far. Really? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'd have kids out there growing up. You know, people sleep over. You know, do. Yeah, I mean, you've been out there. It's not much you can do. You can do what you want, and I don't know. There's something freeing about being out there and all the oak trees and all the land, and I don't know. You miss it, but yeah, I mean, it's special to be here, to be in this situation with knowing the past and the background, and but yeah, it's a cool place, isn't it? Oh, no. No, I just dreamed of playing, I guess, which is probably why I'm up here, honestly. But no, I did send a video. We've got a group message with some of the walk-ons from 2017, and I sent them a video of my little layout bed that I had in the plane, and I was like, dude, we couldn't sniff these seats back in 17. I'm all the way up here, and they're all like, heck yeah, man, that makes me happy. So that was cool.
How was that tricked out? What did you have?
Oh, I had my laptop with the film. I had a little notepad, a gallon of water, and I just had this bed that could recline all the way down. It was really cool.
Hey guys, Channel 2 News, Warren Brinson, an acre on the scene in LA. I'm back with Stetson Bennett. Y'all heard him last year, that last week, that I gave him this nickname. And I know he loves it. Stetson,
What you got?
in practice,
Yeah.
you wear a black jersey, you're always untouched. How does it feel knowing that you get to leave your UGA career not being hit by one?
Well, it makes me happy. There are some times where you have tried, I think, and I made you a mess. Have you not tried?
I want to say, I'm going to redact that statement. But he has never made me miss. I missed it.
On purpose. No, but yeah, it's a. I feel like I can still move around thanks to you and Jalen pulling off and not hitting me, and thank you for that.
I got you. And the last question, Stetson, you know we love you, bro. This is your last game with us, man. We're going to miss you.
Yeah.
For the bottom line, we're going to miss you.
Well, thank you.
Leaving Athens, what's the best place to eat in Athens?
What do you want? What do you want?
We're having a nice sunny day. It's a Sunday after a Saturday night. We're going downtown Athens around the area. Where are you going to go at first?
Lunch spot. I think you got to go get Marker 7 over there in 5 Points.
You hit the grouper nuggets?
I have the grouper nuggets. I get the black and shrimp tacos with some French fries and some ketchup.
Channel 2 News, you just heard from Stetson. Stetson loves Marker 7 and fish tacos.
No shrimp.
Oh, shrimp tacos. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Maybe I did say fish. Who knows?
Kind of hard-hitting journalism here. Comes
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Stetson,
I'm sorry you got to follow that up.
I am too. You're qualified to speak on this. How do you define a dynasty following the sport?
I don't know. I remember being in high school, and we were trying to. This was senior year of baseball, or maybe junior, I can't remember. But trying to get guys fired up, and I was sitting there thinking, and we were watching this Rocky movie, and I was like, man, Rocky's really cool. But no, it was Miracle. It was Miracle. Sorry, we were watching Miracle, and I was like, that is the greatest sports movie of all time. I think. Saying that without thinking. But I was like, but Russia won for 30 years. So I think that's the dynasty.
Not winning 2 in a row.
I think you got to do more than 2, probably. People can forget about 2, especially 2 back-to-back. They can make excuses for that. But as far as a dynasty, I wouldn't say, championships. But no, I'd say it's got to span a decade, of dominance probably.
Stetson, second time playing here for a national championship, man. The path that you got to get to this point, what would it mean for you to finish your career in rarefied air?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of quarterbacks and teams are able to do it for a second time.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be, super cool. This is what we set out to do this year. There's a lot of people who doubted us. A lot of people who, and I know people are gonna be like, well, no, we didn't. Well, yeah, you did. Maybe not doubted us as far as unranked doubted us, but there wasn't a consensus, and it seems as if people have forgotten that storyline, and forgotten what this team has done as a collective. Fought through that and heard all the doubters whenever we're talking about 15 draft picks lost to the draft, and a lot of those guys over there on defense and even on offense heard that, and so we went to work and we took it week by week, and now we're here. So I think that's really special.
All right, so obviously you're an offense that has multiple guys that can step up in multiple games. It's an unselfish unit. All right, it can be 3 running backs, it can be a couple tight ends, it can be a couple of receivers. You as the leader of the offense, how do you make sure that mindset stays the same throughout the season?
I don't think. Throughout the season, I don't know. I don't think we ever really had to do that. Winning helps with that. When you start losing, that's when you start. But we never really had, any issue with that. I think it started a little bit last year. I think we're kind of sort of that way, and more so this year, just spreading it out. But yeah, the dudes on this team love each other, and it's. And when I say they love each other, we'll be a part of this team forever, and we'll make trips and go all over the place and hang out and talk about glory days. But it's easy to be unselfish whenever you're looking out for your brother, and he's a damn good football player too.
All right, TCU, a unique defense at 3-3-5 that we've talked a lot about. What challenges do they pose to y'all as an offense?
I think it's a different defense. It seems like there's 50 players sometimes on the field, right? And they flow really hard. They're really fast. They're really physical. And so when you have a fast, physical, disciplined football team, you're usually going to be pretty good.
All right, last one. Last week, your music taste got called into question. You had a Death Row Record shirt underneath. Do we have anything underneath, or did last week kind of just go ahead and put the word out there?
I just got Georgia on today. What was the actual question? Sorry, I don't know.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't have the Death Row Record.
No,
We're here in California.
No. Yeah, and that wasn't planned last week, so that's why I think it was so cool. I couldn't plan something. But no, I think I've been listening to Mamas and Papas, California Dreamin' a lot. But I think that's my new favorite song right now, actually. But yeah.
All right, there he is, Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett. We'll throw it to you, Bobby.
Appreciate it. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that one. No, I don't think so.
How do the emotions compare coming to the national championship for a second time versus coming to the first time as a starter?
I'd say there's probably a little less nerves, but not because of a less importance of a game. Probably just because I've been here before, right? We've been here before. We know what the deal is. There's no really unexpecteds. There'll be butterflies plenty on Monday, but just the leading up to it, kind of just knowing it's not another football game, but it is. Just follow that, do that, and we'll be good.
Been here back-to-back years. What's the biggest difference for you from last year to this year?
In what way?
Your trip to the championship.
As far as the whole season? Sorry.
The whole season, the whole experience. What's the mindset like having been here before?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit more sense of calm, a more sense of, all right, this is what we did. This is how we do it. This is what we're gonna do. And then, it's in as much as I love Indy, this is Los Angeles. So there are a little bit more distractions. The weather's going to be a little bit better. But the season's different. I think it's a completely different team. I think Coach Smart's hit on that. I think it's completely, everything is the trip to here, everybody's expectations coming in during the season, and then, capping it off in LA. This is pretty cool.
You talk about it being a different team. Who would you say, you guys had first round draft picks all over the place, who's the unsung hero of the squad?
Unsung hero. I'd say, Kamar's a really good football player. I don't hear very many people talking about him. And he's a bulldog. I remember watching him. I can't remember when he came in, but when he came in, I was like, that dude's good. That dude is really good. And he is, and he's tough as nails. He's gritty. He's a damn good football player.
So Stetson, last one, we pulled 6 of your teammates. We got 4 no's, 2 yeses. The question, would you let Stetson Bennett take your system? What's your reaction to 4 no's?
Oh. I don't know. I'd have to hear their reason. Who was it?
The 2 yeses were Jalen Carter and Roger Jones. Brock Bowers gave it an emphatic no.
Well, yeah, Brock. Who are the other 3?
Tate gave a firm no.
Uh-huh.
Nolan Smith gave a firm no.
Oh. That's shocking. All right, who's the last one?
I'm blanking on this thing. I'm totally blanking.
AD?
88.
88's Jalen. He said yes.
He said no.
The other 88. Goody? Ryland? Oh, damn tight ends. No, but listen to Jalen and Broad.
Good luck, Stetson.
Thank you.
We're going to go over here. So there's so much that goes into being a quarterback at a major program in college football. What is it like when you can actually get into the game prep and play in the game, be in moments like in the semifinal, like this stage? The reason that you wanted to do this, the dream.
Yeah, and I mean that's why you do it, right? And I think it's important to realize that when you're there, because I think I've been guilty of it even this year. Getting somewhere that you were working to get, but then not really realizing it then, and that's good and it's bad and whatever. But this is why we're here. This is why we do this. This is why. Monk's got this great thing. We work 360 something days for 12 in the regular season, right? For 12 3-hour little games, right? And we bust our ass for a whole year to do that. And this one's the big one. This is the hang it in the rafters forever, right? And so it's special.
So what does it feel like when you're in that moment, like right now, that prep for that 1 3-hour trip?
It's business-like. I think it's exciting. I love it because you know what you're doing, and you're not there yet, but you'll get there, and you trust that, and it's day by day and it's step by step. But I mean, it's exciting and it's fun to make those little progresses, to hit those little goals, and it's a challenge. Right? Everybody loves to compete.
Right here. Is this something that you've seen in the program change over the course of the time that you've been there, and that it's now gotten to the point where maybe par with the best, and more of the football factory than any of the other programs that maybe you're wanted?
Well, it's tough for me to say anything about TCU's culture. I don't really know anything about the program or how they run it. Obviously, it works, but yeah, I mean, I have seen. It has been cool to kind of. I wasn't here in 16. I really wish I was here in 16. I feel like I could have learned because I think we won 8 games that year or something. I feel like that was an important year, but I've been here every year since then, and so except for 18, that was a bad year too. But hey, maybe there's something there. I'm just kidding, but yeah, no, I think it has molded a little bit more into that. I think Coach Smart has learned and adapted, and he had the greatest to learn from, but he did learn from him, right? And he knew, and he was smart enough to wait until a job like this opened, right? He didn't, but yeah, there has been continual. I mean, you look at our facilities now; they're absolutely ridiculous, and he's got the belief of the whole state, and for good measure, and the team has started to. This is his team completely, right? It's like me. There's a few guys that remember the guys who were here before Coach Smart was here, but other than that, there's no people. So it is his program now, and I think it's been molded and it's almost more professional, like you said. Yeah, well, I think our scout team does a great job. They're in there watching film of TCU's defense to run their defense, which is that's special. And they do it because they care about this team too, and they put in the work too, and they're here too, and they love and they want to win just as much as we do, right? But they know they're not going to get on the field, and so they're going to make the guys who are getting on the field better. And so those guys are selfless and damn good football players too. But yeah, I mean, it is tough. You try to watch as much film as you can just to get, inundated. Is that the word? Inundated. Yeah, right. Just familiarize yourself with the defense. So when you're out there and you see it, it slows down a little bit and you know what you're seeing. Good. How are you? Yeah, I mean, I tried to kind of pace myself a little bit. I think I didn't do a great job of that last week, but pace myself. Prepare. Don't get all the jitters and the nerves and the adrenaline before you need it, and then when you need it, let it all out. But yeah, there is a buzz in the air in the preparation of it. What age did I?
Realize that you would become a great quarterback, even to be seen in this position.
I don't know if I ever realized that. I think I just always and still am just hungry to get better a little bit, right? Because that's what makes it interesting and that's what makes it fun, and competing and competing with yourself day in and day out. Getting your brothers beside you, them competing, them getting better. So I think it's just a constant struggle for that towards perfection. And then what was the next part? Sorry.
What is the thing that makes you tick? What is your inspiration?
My inspiration. I guess if there is, I think I'd probably more than anything, my dad used to tell me this story about Irk Russell, because Daddy walked on to Georgia Southern when Irk was there. But he said in the first team meeting of the year, right? And coaches come in and you go through the team rules. We've got a manual about 70 pages long. It's a pain in all our butts. Coach Russell just walked in there and just wrote, "Do right. Do right." And, I think most of us usually know what's right. And, as far as football goes, I was just always trying to do right, do the best that I can to get to where I wanted. And so I think that's probably inspiration.
You're right here.
Okay.
Starting off, what last time you got a little viral because of your game day playlist, but we're on the West Coast now, maybe a little switch up. So what is on your game day playlist on the West Side? It's a little bit different.
You know, it probably will be a little bit different, a little bit more, a little cooler, a little breezier. Yeah.
Talk to everybody, ask them kind of the same question. For some reason, everybody kept saying the last person on the bus is Stetson Bennett. Why is it that you be the last person on the bus?
I don't know. I do kind of move at my own speed. I guess it is a problem. It's probably the bane of my existence. I'm usually not late, but I am. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm working on it. I promise I am.
It just means that you've got everything in order. I feel like I'm usually the same way. And then, what is your weirdest game day munchie?
What am I eating?
Yeah, weirdest game day munchie.
Oh, I eat a lot of grapes. A lot of grapes. Because I don't want to be heavy, but I get hungry. And I love the crunch. The crunch. I eat them at halftime, and applesauce. We've got these little things of applesauce, and I just slurp those down. And they're like quick carbs, and they taste yummy. I love applesauce.
Then, what would it be if you had to choose between the two? A bad haircut?
Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes are remaining in the Georgia media session. 5 minutes.
How bad
are
of an
remaining.
outfit?
I mean, it's bad. Like, it's just a bad outfit, bad haircut. Like, you don't even
Fans,
step
don't forget to join us all weekend for Playoff Fan Central.
I'd
Playoff
probably
Fan Central
rather
is
have
located here at the
a
Los Angeles Convention Center.
bad outfit, 'cause you can change your outfit. And I need a haircut. I know I need one. I'll get one before the game.
Celebrate the pinnacle of the college football season. Admission is free. Just download the CFP Playoff
probably-
mobile app on your Apple or Android device to get
Probably,
started.
I think Peyton's probably an icon. So probably Peyton, or either him or Luke Bryan, probably.
Last one. Everybody, you heard the question before. You got a number of people that said they wouldn't let you date their sister. So if you had to make the call, who on the team would you not let date your sister?
Oh, there's a number. Who would I not let? Nolan Smith at Trader. Yeah, no way. No, yeah, he's not dating my sister. No chance. Yeah, a Trader.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go here.
Appreciate it.
No, one question, no follow-up. Piggybacking off the fun questions, how would you rate your grit on 1 to 10?
My grit? I think that's probably 10 there. I'm pretty gritty. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very important to our success. Just remembering, where we come from, how we got here, and just it's almost like it's the old ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? And so when we know how what the dangers are of the mighty, whatever, what traps they fall into, then we can be on the lookout for them. So I think it's helped. All-star. I'm an all-star guy. I gotta have my sausage burnt, black as your apron. Hash browns scattered well, and cheese eggs. Lots of ketchup.
You said Peyton and Luke Bryan are the most famous in your phone?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can we get you to FaceTime them and see if one of them will answer?
No, I'm not gonna bother them
All right,
for that.
fair.
I'm no fun.
We were doing Stetson Bennett trivia with a lot of your teammates though earlier today, so I was wondering what would be a good question we could ask somebody about you.
Oh, in what way? Like,
You're asking people like your middle name and stuff, and
people
your
make-
dad's name, which a lot of people got wrong.
oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Stetson Bennett the Fourth's dad's name. What is that? Oh man, what was the furthest place I ever lived? Away, I guess, or some way.
What's the answer
Alaska.
so we can say?
Alaska.
Okay.
Frame the question better than that. I don't think that's a great question, but
Perfect. Thank you.
no. I mean, it is a wild journey that I don't think anybody would really believe. But for me, again, I just took it day by day. And then we ended up here
Ladies and
somehow.
gentlemen, there is 1 minute remaining in the Georgia media session. 1 minute remaining.
It would, it'd be really special. I would, it'd be a lot of pride, and my teammates, these guys here, the coaching staff, nutrition staff, everybody involved in that program, recruiting, Miss Kim, our cooks or chefs, everybody sacrifices so much in hours, and it's expected of them, but they do choose to be there and to do it, and it's all for this game. And so that would be, it would mean a lot, and winning makes people happier for some reason. So, yeah, appreciate it.